There's something in the Standard this morning. Open that page for me. Thank you very much. It is on page 28 of the Standard. There are vehicles here that are being sold.
Only NCPA.
These are repossessed vehicles. Hey,
Okay.
there are so many, it's ridiculous. Then now, when you turn the page, yeah,
Where?
there's 1, 2, 3, 4 full pages of auctioneer notices. Properties and cars that have been up for auction. Now, tomorrow, please get your copy of the Daily Nation. Because Daily Nation normally have 8 to 10 pages of auction items.
Garam.
Those are your friends, by the way. Anaitwa Garam.
Garam Investments.
Have you ever been auctioned? How much do you have in money you owe people? Because this is now turning to be an absolute catastrophe. There's so much being auctioned, it's ridiculous.
Ifika mahali hata shule zinakuwa auctioned.
By the way. And then let me ask you, auctioneering authorities and banks, in this economy, who's buying these things?
Hakuna. And ebu niangalia kama University of Nairobi melipa hiyo 76 billion.
They owe 76 billion.
Yes.
Million or billion?
Billions.
Hey. I need you to give me a call. Let's talk about madeni this morning. Who kona deni ngapi? How much do you owe in debt? Have you ever been auctioned? How do you deal with being auctioned? If you have, we need your story because it's an extremely traumatizing experience. If you've been through it, how did you deal with it? Are you fearing that something may be repossessed of yours? How are you dealing with that?
Hiyo kitu ina pressure. Sana. Sana.
There are like 100 cars in today's Standard being auctioned by one bank. One. I need you to give me a call because if we don't talk about debt management, we are going to have a very big problem, and it's a problem that will then pass on to the next generation, that will keep us in this cycle of poverty, which will be impossible to come out of. I need you to give me a call.
People are going through so much, Maina.
Sana, and they can't say it. So if you're going through a tough time, how much do you owe? Have you been auctioned? Are you in the process? How are you dealing with it? How does it work?
Hey.
0711-046-105 is my number. Give me a call. Hit me up on X at Classic 105 Kenya or at It's My Name Kigani. Hashtag, please don't forget, is My Name Kingangi. Hit me up on my fan page on Facebook as well. Because this is one issue we cannot simply sweep under the rug. So how are you dealing with it? Let's talk. So we're talking about this being auctioned. There's nothing as traumatic as being auctioned. And auctioneers hawananga masupu na tumanga.
Have you ever seen those fellows? Na unajua wanakuja ka 5 AM. Kwanza wakikuja kwa nyumba. Wanatoaga hizo curtains, hizo ndio wanafunga nazo TV na vitabu. Wewe unacheza inakuwa sinema. How?
They use your curtains to carry your TV and everything.
Unatokea unaangalia nyumba yako.
Okay, where am I laughing, guys?
Maina unacheza.
God, I swear, King.
You think wanabebaka mpaka chiwawa?
Kaumbwa.
Ai. Kuna kitu wachukuagi.
Na wananga PR.
Akunaga saa ya PR hapo. You've never been in such a situation. You know, ladies are even going through this hyper pressure.
Wow. What is your story? Because a lot of people are going through this and it is a harrowing experience.
Robert Moria ananiambia hapa na anaenda na nyuki, hata wakichukua hizo gari hakuna mtu wa kununua.
That's what I'm trying to wonder. So now you've auctioned this person. Who's going to buy that property? Unless it's a very wealthy person. What is your story?
Pressure.
Coach Jeffrey Kuz is saying, man, we've got too many problems. What are to enjoy? We just shake them up. Because sasa, if we start thinking of our madenis, we'll die.
If you don't believe tunaishi kwa neema, then I don't know. Hapa tunaishi kwa neema. Because really.
Festa Songaga saying, niko na 70k mtu wa hardware. She says she's coming to demolish the gutters, bwana. She calls every 15 minutes. I'm going crazy. How much do you owe? Eric Derrick is saying majority of us are living from hand to mouth, paying off loans. And if things don't get better, then those auctioneers can continue to come for us. What do we do? Coach is saying we're surviving in a blind economy. All of us are poverty stricken. No one can help each other. Each has his own financial burden. We owe so much, it's crazy.
Can I surprise you? Do you know what Oshago, they are living better than what Hapa City?
By the way, that's true.
Huh?
That's true.
What Oshago? How tulikuwa tunatumia pesa? They are doing so well. Hakuna hii pressure. Ile pressure iko hapa Nairobi, moso hapa Nairobi. Where?
What's your story? Hello.
Hey, Maina, how are you?
Hi, good morning.
Oh, I like today's topic because debt management is a really, really serious thing that we need to address.
Yeah.
I personally have a lot of debt. Sometimes I wonder how I am able to walk on the street bila mtu kunipiga mawe.
How much do you owe?
If I do my calculations, zote zinakuja around 6 to almost 7 million.
6 to 7 million?
Yes, in different institutions. So for me, 6 to 7 million is a lot considering my income. I can't consider myself, like if I decide I want to pay that amount today, I'll pay all of it this year.
Where?
So how are you managing it?
So you go with the one who gives you more pressure. Sometimes kuna wale like, for instance, like let's say bank, like there's a bank I owe, waliongeza interest hadi kafika 4 million. So now these days they try to give me offers. They're like, pay this, but so you know when it's end month, you want to first pay the bills like rent, because rent will be kicked out. You have to pay school fees because your kid won't go to school. And then in the process of doing those and trying to manage, because I feel like at some point that is like an addiction. When you start, it's hard to get out of it. So it took me a while to even just decide, hey, it's a pause now, let's start repaying this debt slowly by slowly until we get out of it. So in the process also I had to develop a habit of trying to save. But so while trying to save, I was doing it in the wrong way because nilikuwa nimejiweka kwa machama, and this chama, so you're taking debt to save, forgetting that this debt you're paying with interest.
So who do you owe the most money?
The bank.
How much?
4.5. And then the rest is just from apps, whatever.
So who do you owe the rest of the money, the other 3 million?
It's just from different apps, institutions. If you just find someone or different chamas, but for chamas it's easy because at least you save and you're given money according to your savings, so it's hard to default on chamas.
Do you worry
for the other 3 million? Those are debts that I accrued long time ago, and they were accruing along, and then at some point I was losing my mind. And I was like, you know what, the easiest way to pay this debt is to end my life and no one will follow me to my grave. I was so depressed that I had to go for therapy. And then in the process, I had to start rediscovering myself. So these days, I'm scared of debt, although I know I still owe people, but it's a very serious thing. Once you start, it becomes an addiction. And then once you default on even one and nothing happens to you, tomorrow you're like, yesterday I was able to manage those people. Like, I can also manage these people and tell them I didn't get money. It's a really bad thing.
Wow.